Hello there, Jimmy Noble here, and today is March the 5th, 2012. Got only one piece of paper here. It's just a couple of bullet points for me. Today we're going to go over the history of brokers' opens, open houses, and the history of the multiple list. The question posed was, what's the history and how do they benefit? Whose benefit would a brokers open an open house? Whose benefit would it serve? Now, I find the best way to explain this is to introduce the history of the multiple list. Before the internet was invented, the multiple list, any updates, any properties that were new came on the market, properties that were on the market that have gone under contract, or any movements in price would have occurred through the multiple list. But that multiple list wasn't accessible to everyone at the tip of their fingers at any particular time, 24 hours a day. That information was accessible from the real estate office. They would have to print out, remember the paper that used to fold down on each other with the perforated edges that you used to have to tear off? That was the multiple list. So there were no photos. It was a property address, bedrooms, bathrooms, and remarks. So you could see that there was a heavy weight to the remarks and what someone said about a property. When they say, like, needs a little bit of sweat equity, the reality is that means you could probably take a bulldozer to it. It's a tear down. So, today, in today's market, that was years ago, so the MLS now, and mind you, if you are a member of the public, the only public portal to the MLS is homesdatabase.com. That's the public side of the multiple list that agents use. Any other website out there is truly just an IDX bridge. I find the flaw in IDX bridges is that the changes that are made to them are not necessarily instantaneous. They can be, some of them have up to a 10-day lag from a change being made to the multiple list to that being broadcast to that particular IDX through the bridge to that site. So use Homes Database if you're looking for properties. Nowadays, remarks, what we write about a property, it's obviously something that you got to do, but it doesn't carry the same weight as the photography. And that's why we put a heavy emphasis on having a professional photographer take care of everything, because don't tell me something, show me. Don't tell me, updated kitchen. When I see something, or actually not the updated kitchen, when I see something, the words in the remarks that say well maintained, and I look at the photos, it means stuff is 20, 30 years old, but it still works. So that's generally what I see when I see well maintained. Show me what's out there. So now that we've just gone over a real brief history of the multiple list, we're going to go over the brokers open and open house. So before people had access to the information as we have it today on PDAs and computers at the tips of our fingers, we had the brokers open. That was so that the real estate agents out there could see with their own eyes what the kitchen was like, what the bedrooms were like, the layout of the home. And that was the only way that they had an idea outside of the remarks, which are, oftentimes, inflated to make something sound better than it really is. So they would host these brokers opens in the middle of the day, and agents would have to go to them, because that was really the only way to see what a property is about, see if it would work for your clients, if it met all of their criteria. Today, people hold open house or brokers opens, and truth be told, I don't really find any active agent worth their salt goes to them, because there are better things to do for a period of an hour or two during the day to conduct business for your clients, as opposed to sitting in somewhere to get a free lunch. Oftentimes I find that agents will tell owners, we'll hold your brokers open for you, because to them, in their eyes, that's a way to show the owner that they're actually doing something active and productive for the house. It's for lack of better terms or sayings or anything like that, it's absolutely worthless. If that agent who was coming to the brokers open had a buyer for that house, wouldn't they schedule a showing and bring that buyer through, as opposed to going and getting a free lunch? Yes. That's why you won't catch me in an open house, brokers open, because it's a waste of time. Now let's go to open houses. Open houses were the way that it was a brokers open for the public. That was the only way the buyers could find out without having an agent qualify them and bring them through the house. That was the only way that they could, get into a property and see for themselves with their own eyes. Now today, we're talking it's 2012. Today, these guys, they know what the property looks like. They know what it costs. Um, the real question is, are they qualified for that particular property? And that's one of the big things, big flaws that I find with the open houses is that you generally find that the buyers coming through the open houses, they're way out from the time frame that they can actually buy a home. They're just kind of in the, hey, I just figured I'd stop by. Hey, I'm just looking phase. And they're often 6 months, a year and a half from actually moving. They haven't taken any of the steps. And let's face it, a lot of times it's just a neighbor wanting to come through and kind of see what's going on with that house, and comparing it to their own house. Now the agents in the open houses, if I'm pretty upfront with people, if you can't tell from the videos, oftentimes agents will tell you, hey, we'll have an open house, we'll advertise it, we'll bring buyers through. The reality is the benefit, in my opinion, and is that it benefits the agent more than it does the homeowner. It evacuates the homeowner from the home to give the agent an opportunity to find buyers who are not necessarily, most of the time they're not working with somebody else who are far ways out, so it lets that agent build up their database for potential people who are going to buy something. The statistical probability of a buyer coming through an open house and buying the house is less than 1%. So if you brought, if you brought 100 people through, you would have less than a 1% chance of selling it to one person. That's pretty bad. That's really bad. Open houses are not needed in today's market. People know what's out there. It's a way I find for agents to find buyers, so they can sell them something else, or it's a way, instead of being upfront in regards to what it takes to sell and market a property. It's also, in my opinion, a way that the agent can physically show the homeowner what they're doing to sell the home. Once again, this goes back to a video that I made in the past, where it's, hey, this business is about results, not intentions. You can try all you want and run around and put signs in the yard. It's about, show me qualified buyers coming through, scheduling appointments, showing the property, and with offers to follow. That's what this business is about. It's not about, smiling and waving to neighbors who just kind of want to check things out because they have intentions to sell their house in 6 months. It's not about letting them get decorating ideas. It's not about having an unqualified buyer tramp through the property with on a Sunday afternoon. We're in the business to get these houses sold. Guys, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, if you got any questions, fill out the form below all the way at the bottom of the page. Pose your question. I'll answer it in a video, or give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. It can be reached at 410-258-0566. That's 410-258-0566. Thank you so much, and have a great day. And if you haven't noticed, they did it to me again. They changed the photo. Now it's a real tiny photo of a cat. Have a great day. Bye.